It's Monday. Gadget Gurus, episode 46. It's March 28th, 2011. And this episode of Gadget Gurus is brought to you by the word face.
And also, we got you because, you know, we've got that donut page, pbcasttv.com/donate if you'd like to donate. Eric, great donation. I mean,
Yeah.
first day we opened it up. Thanks,
First
Eric.
day.
I don't think you're watching. We watch it usually after the show. So, Eric, thanks. Thumbs up to you. So, Jeff, we're just going to do this on one shoot because we're awesome like that. We got a couple stories, and also we detail our nice studio lighting, how to do that and stuff. And then also we talk about this little guy here, which is the... Get this out of the
Yeah.
and
And then we talk about why adapters for iPads are retarded.
Yes. And we talk about this... How do we say this? Hanawa?
Hanawanahana.
Yeah, it essentially makes your iPad 30-pin connector into a dual HDMI and USB connector. And then also we talk about... How do you say this?
Cloud.
Yeah.
We talk about clouds.
A remote control cloud that uses... They're trying to do open-air air conditioning. I don't know how you're going to do that.
Yeah, open air.
And then also
That's
we talk
open.
about...
And you know what else isn't open? Honeycomb.
That was a good chance.
So,
yeah. So Google announced this week that they were not going to open source Honeycomb 3.0.
yeah, all that and more
All this week.
on Gadget Gurus. Oh, you son of a monkey eater. Where's it at? There it is.
Oh, we love podcasts. The best part is I can't hear anything.
Why are you off-centered again?
I don't know. Because I like to be that way, you know? Hello and welcome into Gadget Gurus episode 46. I'm Nick Jones.
I'm Jacob Roberts.
And it is time, because it is... Is the shot ready? Is the shot ready? I don't know. Because remember we planned this.
Yeah, Monday.
We have to turn these off. Oh, the perks of having a new studio. So, Jeb, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking.
I'm doing pretty good as well.
I'm not on caffeine right now, so...
Yeah, Jacob took a little
But I am on a bouncy ball, so it looks like I'm hyper, but I'm not. I just like to bounce.
synchronized bouncing. I can't do it.
Okay, yeah.
That's what we do on this show. And my Xbox is on for some reason.
Because you turned it back on, you remember?
Sure.
I think my ball's deflating.
That would make a great Gadget Guru show. So, Jet, we did some more studio upgrades over the weekend. We've done a couple, and we're going to be talking about two of them today. Or that's what I put in the tweet, so I would hope that we're going to be talking about two of them. And one of them you can actually see right now. Well, kind of. Not really. But if you look in the reflection of my glasses, if I get in the right thing here. Yeah, that too. But if you get into the reflection of my glasses, we have these awesome... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see that? You probably can't tell really that much because...
What's that? What's that in the reflection of my laptop?
Oh my gosh, could that be a high-quality studio light? Yeah, that's right. We installed some studio lighting.
It's aliens.
Yeah. Well, maybe so. I kind of wish it was... No,
Like, I gotta spin this up in the air or something.
I wish it was friendly aliens. Are you sure that's it? Oh, you're just saying because you're... Yeah, Jake, one of the things, we did order Jake a new mic stand for everyone. I know Eric wondered why we didn't have the same two mic stands. But anyway, pretty cool. So, Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about our awesomely awesomeness? Jerry, what would you call these? I mean, I don't know what
Studio lighting.
Yeah, these
professional studio lighting.
Professional studio lighting. Snake skin and all. Well, not really.
I will show you this one by picking it up and showing it to you.
Yeah, so this is a studio light filled, it's pretty awesome. So we trekked down to Lowe's, which is well, I guess they're pretty much nationwide in the US.
They're worldwide. Carlo's been to Lowe's. No, I'm just kidding. Carlo.
They're nationwide. They're owned by Walmart, right? Or
what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
What? What?
They're owned by the people who own Walmart. I swear. If I'm wrong about this, I'm going to be embarrassed. So we tracked down to Lowe's. And, we had intentions of looking at studio lighting, and we ended up, of course, getting some.
I'm not looking at the light to shake my head.
So, Jeff, you want to just kind of explain, what these are?
These are basically just like your industrial little clamp-on lights.
Yep.
And
with some awesome
they got
diffusers.
some compact fluorescent bulbs in them. And just a single sheet of paper over it. And then a folded sheet of paper tucked behind it. And this is what you get. They're not really that bright. The whole thing isn't actually glowing. It just seems like it is in the shot.
Maybe I'm wrong about this. I have always been under the... Maybe I'm just completely wrong. Yeah, I am always wrong.
He heard me because we're in the same room. So yeah, this is the light. Pretty sweet, huh? And we got
Snopes.com. Okay, so this was a rumor, I guess, on the web because it's on Snopes.
Snoops. Why do you always
Snoops.
mispronounce things?
I don't know.
No, just kidding.
It is not based. It's not owned by any. They're not officiated or
Lowe's is
affiliated.
owned by Lowe's, therefore it is technically everything in the world's owned by two or three companies.
Not true.
But we're not going to get into that right now.
Lowe's is based in North Carolina.
Connecticut.
Carolina.
There's a North and South Connecticut.
Yeah. Nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are pretty cool. I mean, I think final total was like $54, $52,
50.
something around there. $50.
But we got
pretty
some
much.
extension
things,
cord,
too.
and we got some
Yeah.
hanger things that we didn't end up using because
But we may use them.
I completely underestimated what the actual baseboard or ceiling crown molding thing
crown
was.
molding. Yeah. But they're working out pretty well. I mean, I would,
And I'm going to do a little upgrade to this one down here. Blue.
Yeah. Pretty soon. Well, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but
Oh, you'll see.
it might.
You'll
It's going to be
see.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
You'll see.
So we're probably going to have to take down Bear pretty soon. When you do that, just soon. That's about it. Or we could just leave him up.
No, we'll take him down because
Yeah.
that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be right there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But, and we got these high quality, I don't know if you mentioned this, diffusers. It's just paper. Well, should I say that on there?
I already said that.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I was looking up Lowe's.
completely already
I was
gave
looking
us
up
away.
Lowe's. I was looking up Lowe's. But $50 gets you, I mean, we got 3 lights.
Well, it gets you a lot. $50 would get you a lot more than just this.
True.
Because we spent money on things that we didn't really have to spend money on.
No, yeah, true.
So like
The little... I
the
think they're
most
about
expensive
$7.
thing was like the compact fluorescents.
Yep.
If
And we
you
got
want-
a pack of 4, or we got 4. Cause
Yeah, we got a pack. We got a pack of two.
Right.
So yeah.
What else was I going to say about these? I mean, they look pretty decent for just literally 5 minutes of setup.
Yep. And some duct tape. I mean, Scotch tape.
Yeah, Scotch tape and some paper diffusers. Anyway, you know what? I might just put a picture. Well, I guess you showed them. Never mind. So why would we need to do that? But anyway, Jet, we're also let's just go ahead and move into this because I've got a couple news stories we might want to talk about as well, and a couple of them are pretty interesting. But you want to kind of talk about the camera? I know we've mentioned it. You mentioned it on when you came over here for the first time on Tech Weekly.
Feels like the first time.
And also, I do like this one other thing because my face is no longer like red. My face is not like that red. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, true. I guess it is, but now it is. Thanks. No.
So this right here is a little camera thing here. This is the Firefly MV from Point Grey on a GorillaPod with a lens that I got for free from work. So, but we have to adapt its iris control into the camera so that we can actually see through it, because right now the iris is closed. Apparently it ships closed. Once you open the iris, I think the iris will not like close back automatically. It's just
being cool like that.
When they test it, they ship it closed. So I always look at the TV. I'm supposed to be looking there, not here. There. Look over here. Look over there. Look over here. Now
No,
look
back
at
to
you.
me.
Look at me. Look at you. Look over here. Look over there.
So this is pretty cool because it uses USB to hook up. They've got a couple different offerings. They've got a USB 3.0 now.
Yeah, and they have gigabit Ethernet.
Which is...
They have external PCI Express. And when you get into those ranges, you're talking like $1,500 for the camera.
Yeah.
Mine was...
But this one, they have two options. They also have a FireWire and a USB 2.0.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And
USB 2.0 will get you a little bit faster data rate. Except, right now, I can't really figure out how to make it go in that data rate.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Now, this is completely manual everything.
Who?
Well, I mean, it doesn't ship with, the fancy Logitech drivers. You have to... This is like I don't know, what would you call it? Like a webcam on steroids. But it's kind of like a DIY
if you install it on
a
a 32-bit Windows operating system, you can go on their website and download the version before this one, as we record this thing, the version before the capturing software out there, and it will install some USB drivers for you. And yeah.
But the cool thing about this camera, kind of what I was getting to, is you can control almost every aspect of the imaging part of this camera.
Yeah.
So whether it be aperture or...
Yeah, you can control everything.
And that's one of the cool things about it.
Oh.
And plus, it is a CMOS sensor, which means it's like extremely, extremely high quality.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much what's going on.
Yeah. And we're also going to test out the
yes.
flip cam. Jacob's
this was another alternative. Oh gosh, sorry. This is another alternative. The Flip
Ultra HD.
Ultra
I think
HD.
you call it the menu.
And it's got the new one's got the.
Is it the HDMI B connector? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like a micro HDMI connector, right here, and this is a micro HDMI plug that I bought for my Canon camera, my T1i.
And also, there's a bunch of devices that are adopting this now, kind of getting like, because they don't have to have near as big of a port. So your Evo has that, or am I thinking? Is it a different one?
Yes, my Evo also has this port.
Okay, so that's cool.
So I can take it right here, and put it right here, and plug it in like right here.
That's pretty cool.
And now my Evo could be projected out to the TV.
Huh.
Or, I'm not going to even go to the bag and pull out my camera. But yeah, my camera can too. So, it's pretty cool. I mean, we're looking at capturing HDMI video instead of going another route.
Yeah, that's another option. And it would
this
also
is sort
be
of
cool.
like a fun mess around camera. Subconsciously, I mainly got this. Was the one of the subconscious reasons I got this was because you can make a surface multi-touch
like
surface table.
We talked about that. I think it's been in pre-shows and a couple, or
Yeah.
post-shows or whatever, a couple times.
And it can capture some pretty sweet things. You just got to get it working right, which I'll get it fixed probably by Saturday.
Yeah,
But yeah,
pretty cool. So maybe we'll be able to see it in action.
mm-hmm.
So that's the options that we're exploring right now. I mean, we're still open to a good many of them as well. We're just looking into. I think it would be pretty cool, even if we didn't use, even if you got the point gray to work, and we didn't use the like that. even if we didn't use the point gray, we could use, or even if we didn't use the flip, we could still, if we bought the capture card, we could capture other things in HD video. So I thought it'd be kind of cool, if we ever decided to do something with gaming or something, we could just do you could split off the HDMI and send it to the computer, and then we could live stream video, which that would be pretty cool in my opinion. So anyway, we had a bunch of topics in like the first I don't even know how long we've been on. Anyway, Jeff, I've got a couple news stories, and some of these are pretty interesting. The first one being this year. So Jeff, we talked about this. It was around Christmas time. The FIFA, I don't even know what that stands for, but it's the...
It's weird.
Yes. This is really weird, actually. So, essentially, FIFA is the Football Association, or soccer, as we like to call it here in the U.S., and they're exploring different ways of having a completely open stadium, but still having cloud cover. Like, having
where they're not all like, you won't like be in the middle of the game and be like, oh, it's so hot.
Right.
Oh, my precious soccer team. Oh, I'm gonna fall down by accidentally hitting myself in the face. I don't know.
I forgot how you say this, but we reported on a PB at night. It was pretty early when we started. Qatar or
Quater.
I don't know.
Quater.
No, it's Cater. I don't know.
Quater.
Quaker.
Quaker oatmeal.
Qatar, that's it.
Qatar.
Qatar.
That's not K. That's Qatar.
Anyway, so
Qatar.
The country that was picked, I think it's in the Middle East, so it's going to be pretty hot, especially if
yeah, I mean, they always pick like, hey, let's go play in the desert, guys.
Yeah.
Just in the middle, okay? During 12 o'clock.
Hey, Jacob, it's really interesting how much money is actually spent on these stadiums. Like in, where was it? Well, I'm thinking of Beijing, but you know how elaborate those stadiums were that they built for the Olympics, and
I didn't really even watch the Olympics.
I mean, that was pretty cool. They had like the bird's nest. You remember that? I think we covered that on Tech Weekly.
I saw a video one time of some Koreans making some crazy, like live video screen by moving pieces of paper around.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
So, this is obviously just a mock-up. I mean, there's nothing like
that actually exists right now in 1/100th scale.
Yeah, well, I guess it could, but essentially, it's like a hovercraft. I mean, that's literally what it is, and it's got.
I have a feeling that someone's going to be up on that thing, and it's basically like a new age hot air balloon.
What is it for?
Or not hot air balloon. It's like a new age
hovercraft, like
not hovercraft, a new age blimp.
Oh, okay.
That's basically what it is, and they make it real flat, so they're like, "It's a cloud, I promise."
And it's got a
and it's gonna be like remote controlled, so that it can like block out the sun. Oh, you don't want any sunlight? We make it nighttime show. Happy fun time.
And it's they're saying it's made of 100% light. Carbonic, I guess that's how you say it, material.
Carbon fiber.
It just says carbonic.
That's just another way of saying carbon fiber. Or carbon nanotubes.
And that would initially cost $500,000 each. But they're saying on Engadget a few $1 million. I mean, it's going for a good cause. So, and the cool thing is, I'm not sure what this is, but it kind of looks like, Jacob, you can dissect this for us. It kind of looks like a solar panel up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be...
You know what I think?
What do you think?
That's the wrong shot. I think that they're going to start bombing people with it.
Maybe so.
They're gonna make it look just like a cloud. It's actually gonna emit mist to make it look like a cloud, and then they're gonna bomb people with it. I see this in our near future.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Says $500,000 for a cloud. Pretty good deal. Not bad.
Yeah, but like it's just like a fake cloud. It's like it's like just blocking sun.
I don't even really see the purpose for it.
Like, why don't they just fly kites? True. Give everybody. Here's a novel thought. Do like we do here. And I know I don't want to bash anybody accidentally, but do like we do here.
True.
I know we're not in anywhere harsh climates as like Middle East, Asia, or wherever they're at. But like, hand out like one of those, like everybody gets a umbrella hat. Everybody that comes into the stadium gets an umbrella hat. No, we're gonna spend like millions of dollars on a floating cloud.
Oh. I get why they're doing this now. The only reason they're doing this is because they want open air stadiums, but they're going to have an air conditioning system, so they have to block the sun some way.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to air condition the outside.
That's what they're doing.
That's just asking for a lot of money now.
Yeah.
That's weird. Next thing you know, they're going to say that they're going to broadcast it live on the TV or something.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That is kind of weird, actually.
I think it's interesting.
I mean, it's cool, but, I don't think it's going to get done. But they do have till 2022. So that's when the World Cup for Qatar. I don't know. Anyway.
Quaker oatmeal.
Quaker oat.
Quaker
So,
oats.
yeah, we talked about the Android App Store, and you said that you hadn't had very much success getting the Angry Birds installed on it. If you haven't watched Tech Weekly, essentially what the Amazon App Store is an alternative app store to the Android market, on Android, of course. But the thing is, I find this interesting. This is one of the perks of having the Android or the Amazon App Store is they feature one like usually paid app every day for free. I think that's pretty cool because like the other day, Jacob, have you ever heard of Swift Keys? I don't know, what is it?
Swift keyboard.
Yeah, that was free the other day, and it's usually $2 or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I still don't like the Amazon app. I still don't like the Amazon app because you can't go and browse anything.
Yeah, true. So I was watching.
It's
Linux.
like, hey, guess what? Here's a search button.
Yeah, I was watching the Linux Action Show yesterday, and they tend to cover some Android topics, and that was one of the things. Once you say, Marketplace, you can simply say, I want this downloaded, and it'll download in the background. You can go sit, look at other applications and stuff. Once it's almost like a purchase on Amazon. Once you do it or whatever, you can't like back out. It doesn't support background downloading, which I think is pretty stupid. But
And apparently their APKs don't work after you download them oh gosh.
So Jeff, this
I'm about to fall off
this
this
is pretty
thing.
cool. I'm gonna have to admit, this is one of the cool things I think about the Android App Store here is they allow you to play with it in a virtual machine on your computer right inside the web browser. I'm gonna have to admit that's pretty cool. Especially if you're gonna pay like $5 for an app. I'd rather see this have like trial periods on your phone.
So inadvertently, you have an indirect way of now playing whatever app you want to on your internet browser.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be really fast too.
Oh yeah, super fast emulation.
Yeah. Let's see what they're saying here. So this actually rolled out, and it went, it went like uncovered because this was just, I think somebody picked up on this the other day. But if you go to the web interface, you can actually see a button here that says "Try it out," and I didn't really know what that meant, and I wanted to try out, some random game. Not that great a performance at all. Just gonna say.
I tried it out on my netbook and it didn't work at all. Oh wait.
I would have to say it's a good idea. Essentially, it's a good idea. And Jacob now has a mustache made out of a whatchamacallit. I just thought it was interesting, and whatever.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was sweet.
We're talking about HDMI cables earlier, and Apple released with their iPad 2. They released the you can now live display anything on the iPad, but the funny thing is it does not scale to the TV. So it still keeps, or it's got like a maximum output, and it does not scale to the TV.
Because they don't want to show how crappy it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, guys.
And there's some.
And it like lets you plug in USB now to the iPad.
Yeah, the cool thing about this is it's got. This is not theirs. This is the Hanawa.
Yeah.
Hanawa, I guess you could say.
Hanawa.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Hanwa.
But if you feel the desire to watch your iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch 4th generation videos on a big screen, but are looking for something else a little more than the Apple HDMI solution, like I said, they did release an HDMI solution. Hanawa's latest dongle might do the job. You can see above, in the place of the original adapter's dock connector, the port is a USB 2.0 socket. Is compatible with cameras supporting mass storage connection alongside with 720p video from the HDMI port, and you can toggle between the two modes right on the adapter. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Let me be the
Is this Jacob's rant of the day?
let me be the hate boy for the day.
Hate boy.
Okay? I think it's funny. This is just me. I think it's funny that Apple actually has the ability to do USB out of its little port at the bottom and actually support stuff, but they didn't do it to begin with. We're only going to have our one port. We don't want people being able to plug stuff into our stuff.
So you're saying
Like
without an adapter?
why
Without an adapter?
Yeah, like
Okay.
why? Hey, all you gotta do is plug in this dongle that has this thing hanging out, and then you can switch it. I'm like, why don't you just originally have USB ports in the iPad?
That is true.
Does the iPad 2 even have USB ports?
No. The only difference, there's a couple cosmetic differences, like actual, besides being thinner, but all the really, they changed the speaker grill.
That's
Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
Wow, it doesn't sound any different, but hey, it looks cool.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it looks any better because you were using my iPad the other day. The speakers are on the bottom. It's on the bottom.
They're actually facing away from you, so you can't hear it when it's sitting on.
And another thing, they call it stereo, but it's only on one side. So even if it could be real stereo, even if they wanted a fake stereo, because phone stereo is.
Okay, I'm picturing this thing right here. I'm seeing the size of the connector. Okay, let's go to this thing. I'm seeing the size of the connector. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing this thing, and what I'm picturing in my mind right now is basically like something slightly like not as wide as this, sticking at the bottom of your iPad.
I'm looking for mine. I have one if I can find it. Alright, so let's compare this. It looks a lot bigger than this. So
yes,
this is
a lot bigger.
Connector. This is one of the camera connectors.
Here, we're going to sell you this thing so that you can connect up a camera to your thing, even though we're not going to include
So that
one.
does USB, like you were talking about. That does USB 2.0.
Here, let's go to the extremely horrible shot. Okay? We got this shot here.
I don't know if they've skewed this picture, which could
I don't think they've skewed it because look at the USB. Like, it looks like it's longer, for one.
Much longer.
Much longer.
Like, see, you can tell, I don't know if they can tell, but you can tell, like, how small. See the end of the 30-pin connector and then to the end of the white thing? Probably need to do this. Anyway, I mean, that's a lot, I mean, granted, it does do both of them, but that looks pretty honking compared to that thing,
Yeah.
So,
like, honks
make honks a lot. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
It's cool, and I thought I'd kind of put this in here just because I knew that you were gonna be like, why didn't you put?
You better be glad they didn't bring a Monster energy drink.
Well, you drink both of them. We do have the empty cans over there.
I'll just go huff on it.
Yeah, maybe there'll still be some there. So, Jeff, I also put this in here for because we could talk some more about it. But Atrix 4G, they came out with their 4.1.57.
What?
Firmware upgrade.
Oh, I thought you were going to say inch. I was like, why are they rounding it down to the nearest thousandth of an inch?
So they brought some cool things. I mean, now you can actually use Bluetooth stereo devices like your headphones.
What is this on?
This is the Atrix 4G, the one that shipped with the weird netbook dock. Remember that? That you dock it into a netbook and it brings up a whole different like embedded Linux OS.
And this is Android?
Yeah, this is an Android phone made by Motorola. You see where we're going now?
I came really close to getting that zoom though. That zoom.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I got to save my money, and plus, it's going to be nearly impossible to root this thing.
Yeah.
So I said no, and I slapped my own hand and I went. And there's a guy standing next to me looking at it, and he's like,
I'm surprised you didn't vlog it. Did you not have your camera?
I'm sorry, I did have my camera. I get in this mode where I don't like vlogging in very, very public places.
Oh, okay.
Because you really do. I mean, you really are like, hey guys, so I'm over here at Costco, and everybody's like,
yeah.
And Shay uses the excuse, okay, there's 30 people watching me right now, but there's going to be 800,000 people watching this YouTube video. I'm like, no, there's 30 people watching me now, and there's going to be 6 people watching me on YouTube. That's a lot less people to watch. Okay, sorry.
But anyway, the main thing here, and this isn't that uncommon, because even with HTC, when you accidentally, I think you may have done this before, accidentally upgrading the firmware.
Over the air update.
Yeah, and it broke your root, or
and it
broke your phone almost.
Well, I didn't do it after I rooted the phone. I did it before I rooted it, and then they were like, haha, we made it where you can't root it, and then you had to wait till they fixed that. So
that's kind of what happened here, but that kind of shocked me. 4.1.57 on your firmware, and it just came out it came out 2 or 3. I got mine at the beginning of. I got my phone on February 14th or 12th or something. Anyway.
Well, that's all they're doing is making it so you can't root, and I don't understand people. Okay, what's it called? Apex. Atrix. I understand this is a Motorola phone. Okay, I'm going to get really close in person with the mic. I understand this is a Motorola phone. Okay?
Right.
Motorola is on a mission to not let people do anything to their phones. They're becoming Apple, basically.
The Apple of the Android.
They're saying, hey, we're open, but not really. Like, it's just, they have like a proprietary format on how they do their firmwares. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, it puts bad taste. I've had bad taste from Motorola Android phones anyways.
Yeah.
Note the back flip.
I was going to call it the flip out for some reason. I think they do.
I'm going to call it the backflip minnow.
Yeah.
And
this is another thing I wanted to get your opinion on. And I think some people are overplaying this because, like I said, I was watching the Linux Action Show, and they're big advocates. I mean, I like open source. Yeah, we've talked about how open source can be a lot, why open source can be better. In fact, I think we've talked about that on the last episode or two where we were talking about it. Anyway, we talked about it sometime. Google announced this last week that they're not going to open source Honeycomb 3.0. It's not going to, the source is not going to be
you know
obtainable.
why, right?
Why?
Because they're going to push an update to the Apple TV. $10. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to even say what the $10 is for. I'm just going to say
The Apple TV?
that Google TV, like I
Okay.
said,
Really? You think this is...
I think that they're going to bring, or they're going to have another device that they're going to come out with that is going to have Honeycomb that you can plug up to your TV.
Really?
Yes, this
That
I
would be-
have some inside people, like Kevin Rose always says. I got some people on the inside. I can't say much, but all I'm saying is that they're going to push out some stuff, turn a little heads, cough a little, grabby.
What Carlos said.
I will pop that ball. I am actually going to do it right now. What would you do if I accidentally did it and I just
You're
fell
like-
to the ground? Oh my god!
Like, cut.
And I'll just be. I would just sit there for the rest of the show.
You gotta go. Just throw the ball up in there like Leo did. So what were you saying?
Yeah.
Google TV or something that they're gonna release.
They're going to have a TV interface, another one, and they're basically going to just kick the Logitech review and stuff to the side, and they're going to take on their own. That's how I feel, because that's how they did with their phone. They had
Yeah, the
HTC
V1.
come out. They had HTC come out with the phone first, okay,
Yeah.
and then they came out with their own phone, and they did all this extra stuff to it.
The Nexus 1, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they're sort of like, you guys do whatever you feel like with your phones. We're going to do whatever we feel like with our phones. I think that's what they're going to do. They're starting to get more and more into the hardware side of everything. And I do believe that they will come out with their own Google TV
Like in-house produced. Like
in-house.
hardware.
It'll be like the Nexus TV or something.
Which
I don't
they,
know.
we would never be able to tell if it's contracted out or not. I mean, it'd probably be leaked, but
But
it wouldn't be
it-
branded.
They would have direct influence over the design of
Okay,
it.
so they're just like, you do this, this, this.
I mean, yeah. Of course, Google probably doesn't have the ability to actually make stuff.
True.
You know,
Well,
of course they're gonna. Everything's contracted out. HTC doesn't actually make their phones.
Oh,
They get
true.
some Chinese guy to do it in his backyard or something.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
So I mean, it's literally like if you like that's the way they do it. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why they're not going to make Honeycomb open source.
So you're not seeing this as a threat to. You're not seeing this as because they've open sourced every version since whatever the first version. Of
I think it's going to hurt them inevitably because then they're not going to have a lot of people be able to develop stuff.
Yeah,
And,
that was one of the things you can. They specified this when they announced this that you can. Developers are still able to individually request from Google, but that's.
If
That's
you can
pretty-
get a copy of the open source of the source code of Honeycomb, anybody, I don't care if you're a devoted developer that's never going to leak anything, it will be leaked.
Yeah,
the
true.
end, and there's no point in letting one person have it because everybody will end up having it.
True.
It doesn't matter if you publicly release it or not. If you are allowing people to have it, it's going to be leaked. The end.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people are saying you see this as a threat to, ultimately, to Android because I mean they've always every single time you hear them go up on stage, whenever they have a new release, they're saying and it's open source. That's always been a selling point, and not to me, but to developers. Just be like, I can develop for the Android platform. no added anything.
I think they have changed what open source really does mean. Open source is literally what it says. Open source. Source
Everything
being source code for the thing.
Yeah.
Therefore, you offer all of your source code for open. You're open to letting people use your source code. What they're starting to do now is we'll let you develop apps and we'll let you...
So seeing them straight.
I mean, yeah. You could say, oh, well, then Windows is open source. I can make an app for Windows. I can make a program in Visual Studio. It's open source then, right? No. So Honeycomb will no longer be open source if they don't allow people to actually have the source code.
Yeah.
And
that's what
it really sucks that that's the way they're going, because inevitably you will have Honeycomb on your cell phone. Sooner or later, you'll have a cell phone with Honeycomb. It'll just... The way they're designing the new Android is so that it can dynamically scale. It's one thing that will run on a screen this big or a screen this big.
Yeah, or even like a TV or something.
Yeah, this big. And that's what they're doing. That's all that's the end game thing there, is so that they have a one operating system that runs on everything, which is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's really good, because now you can devote all your efforts into one operating system, and not like Apple, where you're like, well, we got OS X over here, we got this over here, we got that over here.
And you see that now with Android, because still, I think the latest I've heard is 90% of all Android devices are running 2.0 or higher. But that's still, I would like to see it saying 90% of all Android devices are running 2.3 or higher.
Well,
now, granted, it's a hardware, issue as well, because your G1, you'd never want to run 2.3.
Well,
there, but
that's the thing with Honeycomb, is that they're going to have that ability in there to be able to downsize certain things and be able to run on different operating systems.
Okay, so I just noticed for a fact that the iPhone 3G is really slow, compared to the 4, and technically you can still run iOS 4.0, but it's a downscaled version that doesn't have multitasking or something. So, not quite like that, but it would be designed saying you can still use your legacy hardware, but you can still be on technically the latest version.
Well, and also, if you've noticed, and I think people just tried to Google tries to do it a certain way to where people forget about certain things. They've completely abandoned the Chrome OS.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
they're focusing all their efforts onto this new Honeycomb and all that. Because if they were still doing Chrome OS, the tablet would have had Chrome OS. But I think they changed the name of it, and also they redesigned it to integrate into Android. And Honeycomb is a mixture probably of what they had in Chrome and Android, just because of the way it's laid out and stuff. And
yeah, it's completely different than Android. It's not like it's Android, but it's not. It's just
it's designed
it's
for
totally
a bigger screen.
Yeah, I don't know if you played with that Zoom. I don't think they had a.
No, they had it behind a plastic box. Because if they had it out, I might have slipped it. No, just kidding. I wouldn't steal anything unless it was offered to me for free by some shady dude in the parking lot.
So, staying with the Android apps and tablets and stuff, this is very interesting. We've been downplaying the playbook a lot because, honestly, the playbook is, it's just, it's cool, but not really. They announced, or actually the CEO of RIM announced this week, that the playbook's going to be able to run Android apps. But it doesn't stop there. They're going to be able to run Flash apps. They're going to be able to run Java apps. They're going to be able to run Adobe Air applications, which Android runs. And then they can also run, they're saying if they can get it on time, it could run Qt applications, which means that you could literally design something like, there's a music player I use on Linux Mint and Ubuntu and things. It's called Clementine. And Qt allows you to port that. It's actually the same code base. It just used the Qt emulator thing or whatever to create a Windows application. So essentially Clementine, they just take that one Qt and they scale it down, and it now runs on, I think Mamo is what Qt was actually designed for, but still. That's just a broad base of applications. And, I don't really know how Google's just going to let them be like, hey, you want to use the Android App Store, but
hey, and we're also going to let it run Apple stuff, and it's going to have all the marketplaces on it. And did we mention that it runs Linux? Also, Windows.
That's literally what I was thinking that they would say. Be like, you can dual boot everything.
Yeah, you can put whatever you feel like on it. It's basically a laptop. That's basically what it is.
Oh, and one more thing, they're actually going to support HTML5 and Flash multi-touch. You know, we've talked about Flash being able to support multi-touch better. You can actually have in-browser applications. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm gonna have to admit. I mean, this is one of those things where we had to see something interesting, at least from the playbook.
And it comes from proprietary with a data plan.
Yeah, that's it.
From BlackBerry.
Yeah, I think it's gonna launch with Verizon. I'm not sure, but that makes sense in my reason or in my.
And then they'll all be like, and it cost a lot of money. Hey, they had those Zooms. Zooms.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. I don't know why. They had the Zooms at Costco for like $5.66.
Really? Was that was Wi-Fi, wasn't it?
They had the Verizon wireless one for like something, and then they had the other one for the same something.
They don't have the Wi-Fi one yet?
Yeah, they have them both.
Oh, they do. Okay, cool. The Zoom is interesting. I don't think I would. I don't think I'm gonna like sell my iPad tomorrow and go buy a Zoom because I still feel like it's first. Carlos saying iPad.
Yeah, you know what RIM's best thing they could do right now is to adopt the Android. Just throw all their stuff out of the water and adopt Android, and then HTC. Just dominate the market. Get Android to dominate the market. Make it to where the only people out there is Android and Apple.
That would be cool.
And Android would dominate because it can run on anything. Then start releasing iPads with Android on them. Just go behind Steve Jobs' back altogether.
Can't you see like the same exact hardware of I can see this now, except with the black Android logo on the back instead of an Apple. And
everything's changed just enough to where it doesn't infringe on any patents whatsoever.
Oh gosh.
I like the thing that they said. What was it? Apple's latest lawsuit was, you're not allowed to use the word face in your products because we coined that word face. I'm pretty sure people had faces for a really long time.
Well, yeah. Like it's so weird because they like patent off or trademark everything. They're like, you can use face, but only in you cannot use it in the technology realm or something. I'm like, are you serious?
You can't say face. So that's that because we got copyrights to face now.
I think this is what Carl was actually saying is Facebook went after Apple for using FaceTime. So
you know what? I'm going to make an app called Buttface.
Is it going to be another fart app? Or is it going to be multiple?
It's going to have pictures of people, and when you press this little button, a little like butt cheek comes out and farts in their face, and they're like, ooh, oh.
You could probably use the app creator. What is it called? Remember
that thing is like it's like look, he made a kitty cat. Here, kitty, meow, meow,
exactly.
I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
And then they just put like a couple JPEGs.
They're like, oh, let's just put a JPEG on top and put an invisible image over it. Mm-hmm. And when you pet the kitty, meow. I'm like, what does this do?
Call it facepalm.
Hey, Carla, you cannot use that in the technology realm.
Yeah,
Apple has all domain over face.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to shut down this whole broadcast now. Well, Jacob,
I'm going to pop this thing on the corner of this.
You're just going to...
I have a feeling. I keep on rubbing up against it, and it's like...
I guess that pretty much does it for this episode of Gadget Gurus. Episode, I don't even know if I said
46.
46, because last week was 45.
46.
Carlos saying he'll one day buy Apple. Carlos, just remember us. Remember us when you buy Apple. Alright, what was I going to say? can follow Jacob on Twitter, twitter.com/freakinghuge, FREAKINHUGE. Is this it? Oh, money. And then also, you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/ This is awesome right here, just doing these random switching where I can't do anything, and now I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click here, and then I can be like, that Nick Jones. So yeah. You can also check out Jacob's vlogs. I don't know if he's holding the camera up for that reason or
No,
not.
I was trying to shine the light in the camera's eyes, but it didn't work.
No. YouTube.com/freakinghuge. You can also follow pbcasttv all over the web, twitter.com/pbcasttv. Facebook.com, just search pbcasttv. I always forget to mention this, but you know what? I'm going to pull it up real quick. It's not going to be real quick at all. But anyway, you can also check us out, youtube.com/pbcasttv. Oh, dude, Jay Troutfish has been on the last person to be on Facebook on here. That's kind of weird.
Don't say anything about that, because he's never been on that computer before, if you know what I mean. Let's go to this shot. Look at the camera. You were supposed to say that out loud. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hey, look, he was the last one to be on here.
You just search,
Just kidding.
You just search pbcasttv on Facebook, and you'll come to this web
that's
page
great.
here that propagates. That's definitely not the right word. Anyway, we can't get facebook.com/pbcasttv because we don't have 25 likes. We need 25 likes so we can get
Whoops.
facebook.com/pbcasttv. It's slash me.
You know what? I like to do it a different way, okay?
And also you can follow us youtube.com/pbcasttv. So guys, pretty much said it for this episode. So
I'm Nick Jones.
Should we do that this week? So until next time. What should I say? Now you have me all confused.
I know, I was gonna...
I'm Nick Jones.
I'm Jacob Roberts.
And we are
The Gadget Gurus.
Gadget Gurus. See you guys.